Here are the 7 signs that your man has lost interest in the relationship and he's potentially seeking love elsewhere. Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Rebecca P. Fox. I'm a psychotherapist and I'm going to talk you through in this video signs that your man is currently losing interest in the relationship and he's looking for love elsewhere. Now, at the end of this video, I'm also going to talk you through the reasons why your man may have lost interest and what you can do about it. So let's get into it. Now, number 1 is decreased emotional connection. So when you guys first got together, you would have very open, very deep conversations where he would share his thoughts, he would share his dreams and share his fears very openly with you. But now he seems very emotionally closed off and distant. And when you express your emotions or concerns, he responds in a way that's very sort of indifferent, or he seems to dismiss you completely and doesn't seem to want to connect with what you're saying so you can have a very deep, fulfilled conversation. And the way that he behaves, it almost makes you feel like you're not wanted. It makes you feel like what you've got to say isn't important, which in turn makes you not important. If this is the way that you feel, this really shouldn't be ignored, because this is the point where yes, your partner is likely to be losing interest. So paying attention to the rest of the behaviors that I'm going to give you in this video are going to be key to working out whether your relationship is still on track or not. Number 2 is lack of communication. In the early stages of your relationship, your man was very much the guy that would lead the conversations. He was the one that would keep the conversations flowing. He was the one that almost, dare I say, was a nuisance. And there'd be times when you'd be busy or you wanted to go to bed, but he'd just keep the conversation going because he just wanted to be in contact with you. But now, this has done a 360 and now he rarely initiates contact and he takes a really long time to respond to any messages or any calls that he's missed. And for you, this is something that you've brought up with him, but he doesn't seem really interested. He actually kind of avoids the topic and just kind of carries on as if it was all normal. Number 3 is secretive behaviour. Now, many people think, well, this is the obvious one, right? This is the obvious one, but it's not that obvious, because some behaviours he was doing in the beginning. For instance, he doesn't openly share his phone with you. That's always been the way he's kind of reacted and behaved. He's never really shared his plans with you in terms of who he's meeting, what he's been up to. Now there's a bigger shift because it's almost like he's guarding his phone. It's like his phone becomes a private possession that he's very protective of, and he's very protective of his privacy, and he lets you know that. He makes it very difficult now for you to see what's going on or who he's talking to. He makes a point of you not knowing what he's doing. So you notice him being very evasive or hesitant when you ask him about who he's spending time with or what he's getting up to. Before, he would tell you perhaps, but he wouldn't go into great detail, whereas now, you don't get any of that. Now it's, I'll talk about it later, or when I know what I'm doing, I'll let you know, even though he already knows what he's doing. So that's your sign there. Now, when we talk about number 4, what we're looking at here is a decrease in intimacy. We all know when you get into a new relationship, often when we're talking about sexual intimacy, it's hot, it's passionate, it's consistent, there's a lot of it, you can't get enough of each other. And yeah, with time that decreases. But this decrease that I'm talking about in particular is so different that it's starting to make you feel uncomfortable. So I'm talking about physical affection such as hugging, kissing, cuddling. These things that were something that would happen on a regular basis with your man now become very rare. And when it does happen, when you perhaps initiate it, it feels forced. It feels like you're forcing him to hold your hand. You're forcing him to kiss you. And there lacks a lot of genuine warmth there. With this decline in sexual intimacy, they may show very little interest in connecting with you at all. It might feel like it's a job. If you feel like you're pushing them into having sex with you, it might feel like they're just doing a duty and it's a job, as opposed to a connected, intimate moment that you guys once shared. That decrease in intimacy, look for that on those levels. Number 5 is he now avoids commitment. So whereas when you guys started out, he was very much open to talking about the future with you. He had no issues in making plans with you. There was a clear sign that he was committed to you and you being in the future with him. But now he avoids that commitment to the point where when you bring up that topic of making future plans for a holiday, you want to go away for a weekend break, you need a +1 for a wedding and you want to arrange plans there, he just completely changes the subject, or he avoids engaging in the conversation altogether. He makes an excuse. He makes an excuse that he's got other things to do and he can't talk to you about it right now. And these excuses just lead to one big delay or avoiding altogether in you guys making any plans for holidays or events in the future for your relationship. Now, number 6 is a change in priorities. When you guys first got together, he would always want to make plans with you first. You was the one that he would prioritize first, and then his friends, etc., family would work around the plans that you guys made together. But now he frequently cancels plans with you, and he claims that other commitments or responsibilities, they take precedence over spending time with you. You notice that he is actively investing more time and energy in other things that don't involve you. And in the beginning of the relationship, or certainly previously, he was very much the one that would want to do things with you. He would push to have you involved in things that he was doing. But now he's actually insisting that I want to do things on my own. I'm going to have my own hobbies, my own interests. And look, that is a very healthy thing. For you to have a healthy relationship, it's great when you guys have your own hobbies and interests. But what I'm talking about here is a complete shift where in the beginning, you guys would participate together as a team in these hobbies. And now he doesn't want you as a team. Normally, when you're in a relationship and you want to take on new hobbies, you'll discuss this with your partner and you'll make it clear that time will also be made for them. Like, this isn't going to become something that pushes your partner out the way. No, this is something that's a good thing, and we just need to collaborate on this. Also, you will notice that there's a shift in the way that your man likes to spend time with his friends. His friends have now become a priority because in the beginning, his friends were second, third, fourth best. It didn't matter. They would fit in and his friends understood and it wasn't a problem. Whereas now, the roles have been completely reversed and you're the one that's in second, third, fourth or fifth place next to everything else in his life. Now, number 7 is flirting with others. And you're probably thinking, well, yeah, Rebecca, that's obvious. Of course, if my man's flirting with someone else, he doesn't want to be in the relationship. But here's what I want you to know about that. Not everyone who flirts is a cheat. When guys or women flirt, sometimes they need to flirt in order to have their ego boosted. They have a low sense of self-worth and self-esteem, and that flirting and that engagement makes them feel good. It makes them feel wanted. Regardless of whether they have a partner or not, this is an issue that they need to deal with themselves, but that's how they're coping with it for now, by flirting with other people. The difference is he never did that at the beginning, right? He was very much devoted to you. He wasn't interested in anyone else. It was obvious. But now you've noticed that he's become very over the top and friendly with the opposite sex. He's actually flirting, it's very obvious, and it makes you feel uncomfortable and insecure in his presence when he does it, whereas before you never had that feeling. He's also actively seeking attention from others. He compliments them, expecting compliments back. He engages in behaviour that's completely crossing the boundaries of a platonic interaction, and this is obvious for you. So do not ignore this sign. If you're feeling uncomfortable and insecure with the way that your man is interacting with another woman in front of you, this is a sign that he probably is seeking attention and love elsewhere. So if you feel like these signs fit your current situation, if you've gone through this and gone tick, 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 yes, Rebecca, to all of these, I want you to have an open and honest conversation with your partner. It is so important that you open that dialogue so that you can understand their perspective, so that you can address any concerns or issues that you feel are really affecting the relationship, because Ultimately, it's trust and communication that are the key to having a healthy long-term relationship. So if you do feel like your man has lost interest in the relationship and you feel like he's perhaps looking for love elsewhere, there can be various underlying reasons that have contributed to this disconnect that's now been created. Because let's face it, if you were still in a strong connected relationship, he wouldn't be looking elsewhere. So there's a disconnect, and let's look at what these disconnects could be. Now, common factors that I've seen with couples I work with are a simple communication breakdown. The couples have just stopped communicating, whether that's fear of upsetting the other person, whether that's they've been so involved in themselves because something's been going on and they haven't felt like they could share. It's as simple as they've stopped communicating, which is why you must communicate with your partner when you feel like something's wrong. Also, a shift in priorities. We go through life with things changing each and every single day. Having your priorities shift is common, but you've got to express that with your partner and let them know what's going on. Again, this ties into the communication element. Also, your partner, he may not feel like you're prioritizing him right now. And in fact, he might even feel underappreciated. And you might not even be aware that you're doing that, because there might be things going on in your life that have got you so focused on yourself that you haven't been prioritizing him. You haven't been showing him that you appreciate him. And as a result, he feels like you're getting further and further apart. So, to get this relationship back on track, it is vital that you have an open and honest conversation. Guys, no matter how difficult it is, sit down and talk to your man. Actively listen to him. Listen to his concerns. Listen to his feelings. Express how you feel. Express your concerns. And then you can address any issues that are unresolved. And you'll be surprised at what's going on that you thought was going on and actually isn't going on. You'll be surprised what comes up with that. Now, when it comes to rebuilding that intimacy and emotional connection, this is very easy to do. This can be achieved through spending quality time together. We've all heard it, right? Date night once a week or date day once a week. I can't tell you how important that is. Getting that quality time together so that you can reconnect, so that you can bond, you can take the pressures away from work and everything else. You are devoted to each other in that moment. So, showing affection. Don't be afraid to touch your partner, hold hands, hug. It doesn't have to be sexual intimacy every single time, but touch is such an important element of a relationship. Trying new experiences together. This just reignites the spark. Sharing fears, sharing excitement. It adds to the connection. So look at supporting each other through this, okay? Have that conversation, no matter how difficult it is. This is what is going to allow you guys to reconnect, find your gratitude and appreciation once again for each other, because this is what is crucial to making both of you feel valid and cherished. So ultimately, guys, to tie this up, you just need a willingness to work together. And look, if your man says to you, I just need space right now, give it to him. Let him have that space, because if both of you are committed to rebuilding the relationship, it will happen regardless of whether you give him that space or not. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more details on this. Any questions, comments, I love to hear them. Hit me up in the comments. And look, if you think anyone needs to hear this, please share.